Okay guys, thank you for clicking. Right now, serious debates don dey go on now concerning Goodluck Jonathan for my country people. This na some of the trending matters. I will leave you guys to watch the video. Subscribe, like. Thank you.
Are you seeing what the North is recently saying about Peter Obi 4 years term? They are not saying Peter Obi will not keep to his word, so they are saying, what if Peter Obi now performs so well, change the economy and everything is moving so well, and the masses say no, that you have to continue, that you cannot drop, that you have to continue. Will he still keep to his words? What if he now performs so well and the masses say no, you have to continue? Will he still keep to his words? So you see that they are not actually interested in Nigeria changing or life getting better for Nigerians, both for the North and the South. Because if Nigeria is better, it will not only be better for the South. If Nigeria is better, it will be better for both the North and the South. So they are saying if Peter Obi turn things around and everything is so good and the masses say he should continue, will he still keep to his 4th term? So you see they're not actually interested in Nigeria getting better. So they prefer to jeopardize Nigeria's prosperity for a sycophant candidate to come and rule this country and returning power back to the North. So my question is, what is really wrong with this northern leader? What is wrong with you? What is really wrong with these northern leaders? It is high time for northerners to wake up and know that their leaders don't have their interest in heart. Because if Peter Obi is making this country to work, if they believe that Peter Obi has the capability to make this country to work, the country will not work in favor of the South alone. The country will work in favor of both the North and the South. So if they are against that, that means they are against the prosperity of the Northerners. It's very pathetic. It's very, very pathetic.
The timing for farming takes place, and you see that being done practically. Who benefits? The northern people, and including their younger generation, benefit from it. And then at the end of it, what is the result? We are now moving from consumption to production. No more hunger, because the people will produce, and then they'll be able to sell their produce. And at the same time, you may want to ask, how did the farmers go into their own farm, especially the issue of corruption? Because majority of the farmers, those who engage into security, social malfeasances, will also see there's a purposefulness and the direction of a leader who takes care of the interests of the people. That is the quality and character that Peter Obi exemplified. And that is what we really need in this country. We don't need a recycled product that cannot be able to produce new ideas that new Nigerians needed. And that's why most of the time you have our slogan in the Obedient movement, we say a new Nigeria is possible.
Right, you mentioned Goodluck Jonathan earlier, the former president, and some would say he has become the new bride. He has become the star boy of opposition game plan. We've heard his name mentioned within the PDP ranks. There are calculations that are factoring the Goodluck element. There are calculations on the ADC side that also has the Goodluck element. We understand that some of his political allies are in conversation with the leadership. Does that worry you? That the attention is moving away from your
Not with the pinch of assault, none. And I explain. And this is a time in which, especially our northern brothers, should be careful, because they are dropping the name of the North. He himself, His Excellency, former President Goodluck Jonathan, you should also be mindful that they are dropping his name. And the idea behind it is this. You have a popular candidate who supported you at the time of your needs, and you know that he's popular. It is the best time for you to support that particular individual, because it's time to you to make a repayment. And the reason why you should do this is that those microscopic few who have held this country in total abject poverty are trying to use the former president against the interest and the will of the people. And this is what they are saying, that a Goodluck Jonathan presidency will be easily manipulated, may be easily be used by the North. They quote, by the North, so that the North can now have easy access to somebody that they can trust, as against credible person who is trying to change the narrative of your economic well-being.
Yeah, but who is saying that, Dr. Tanko?
You just said, did you mention any name when you said there's becoming a new brand? No, you didn't. Because the same people who are calculating, who are sending those permutations, are trying to change the narrative. And I'm saying this for my own brothers in the North. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be used. Because when they say, it's the North that is bringing in Jonathan and all of that, and he himself, President Goodluck Jonathan, knows very well that the most popular candidate as we speak today is Peter Obi. And so he should be a very good father that he is. Yeah, and he has been enjoying the international community favor. And said, look, at this point in time, we've already enjoyed our position in there. And I remember with nostalgia the statement of Peter Obi. He said, those who have plunged our country into a dwindling economy should have a house where all of their names should be mentioned one after the other. But now we should be able to encourage new generation so that they can be able to change the narrative. I'm quoting him, and this is the time. So we should be careful, and he should be careful so that he cannot be used against the will of the people.
Two questions. Are you saying Peter Obi is new generation? Because last time I checked, he's part of the old guard. And then the next question is...
he grew within the ranks. He has never been the president.
Yeah, but he is a part of the system.
No, he was a governor. Yeah. That's sure. And then everybody is expected to grow within the rank. Had it been that he was not the governor, the question you will have asked me is that he doesn't have the experience.
I'm not sure I'm going to ask you that, but the question is, you say that he supported Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes, he did. I did not even say, he did not even say it was Rotimi Amechi.
Right, okay. Be that as it may, right? The question one would ask is, I suppose you're saying Goodluck is not the best candidate at the moment. Right?
At the moment.
That's what you're saying. But the argument is, one could also say that if Peter Obi trusted Goodluck Jonathan's leadership before the emergence of the APC, why would he change his mind now? If Goodluck was good for Nigeria then, why isn't Goodluck good for Nigeria now?
No, I never said that he's not good. I only said that there's an advancement. When you are past a Rubicon of leadership, you've already enjoyed your own position. It is good that you step away from the stage so that you can hand over to a younger generation. You only groom people so that they can be better. Don't forget, he was also the member of the economic team of President Goodluck Jonathan. So that way, he has gone through the Rubicon of being trained. And so he has become a man of himself. The only thing that is remaining is to hand over the battle to him so that he can continue from where they have stopped.
Is there any conversation between these two?
They have an excellent relationship. Excellent and beautiful relationship, including the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there's this symbiotic discussions and all. All we are saying is that Nigerians and indeed the world is looking up to a newer generation of leaders that can take us to the next position.
All right. I'm not sure everybody is sold on the fact that you're repeatedly saying that Peter Obi is, the newer generation.
Yes, because I have my facts and I've already exemplified and I put them on ground.
Right. A lot of people will say he has been around for the past 2 decades in the political arena. So.
Yes, and then of course he has grown up the ranks.
Right. Okay. His one-term offer.
Very fantastic idea.
A lot of people have, pushed back on that, saying this is more about political strategy than actually national development, because there are no guarantees when it comes to leadership, when it comes to governance, especially governing a country like Nigeria. He tweeted about it, and that in itself caused quite the national interest. Most recently, he's also talked about a single-term offer, something that former President Goodluck Jonathan had attempted to achieve. What do you have to say in defense of those who say this is all just political calculation on his part, that he's been disingenuous by insisting that he's only going to serve 1 term and 1 term is going to be enough for him to fix Nigeria?
You see me smiling at you because there's a lot of deficit of trust in our country. So even somebody is telling you the truth, you look at his face and say maybe you are lying. I'll give you the story. Peter Obi visited Kano State somewhere last year during the fasting period, and he actually was received in the Triumph Mosque in Fagi local government, warmly received. In fact, we broke our fast with our people in the mosque. There was no difference, and it was amazing even to me. And so Peter Obi said, this is love at its actual epic level. So he promised to support them on his own, without them asking him for anything, without them asking. It was so good. So he went back. Months later, nobody had them querying him or asking him for anything. It was actually me that he queried. How can we promise something we have not gone back to make those particular promises? To do that particular promise, say, okay, we are going back to Kano. So we went to Kano. Surprisingly to them, he presented them with a check of 2 million naira. He presented them with a check. So that's to tell you that there's a time in which we start believing in ourselves. And when somebody makes a promise, a Peter Obi keeps to his promise. And when he keeps to his promise, that is the reason why most of the things that he said on the public domain became a national issue. When he mentioned it, everybody took a cue to it. Everybody took a cue to that particular one time.
I mean, but the one-time conversation has been around for quite some time.
No, but at least when he said it, it became an issue. Anything that Peter Obi does, it becomes an issue in this country. That's why it's on the tips and mouth of everybody. And he's grateful and he's humble with that. Now, let's even examine the one-time issue. It is the turn of the South to go unconstitutionally. The South has already served 2 years with abysmal failure performance. And that, of course, has been cleared. So him, for being a good Democrat, who want to respect the agreement of the people and say, look, I will not even serve more than that 4 years that is remaining of the South. So that what? To give to the North their own ample opportunity of serving for the people. Is that not fairness?
But Dr. Tanko,
do you even applaud him for making that particular
Dr. Tanko,
is it not to the advantage of the North?
Do you understand, Dr. Tanko, for people who say, listen, he doesn't have a crystal ball. He cannot give what he doesn't have. It's not his to give away. The Constitution allows for a person, an individual, to run for 2 terms, maximum 8 years. As far as the amendments are concerned, that is what we have right now.
And the Constitution did not say must.
Right, not must.
So but of course, you have a right to decide to serve 4 years.
There's a question around how politicians cannot be trusted. And for some reason, a lot of people have also drawn comparisons to say, listen, Peter Obi might be different in some regards, but he's also a human being. And he has given people reason to believe that sometimes he can go back on his words. That, you know, at one point he said he was never going to leave ABGA, and he has left ABGA for other political parties. Why should Nigerians trust him now if he can go back on his words?
Because most of the things that he has said, I give you an example, he has never failed in his promise. And that is the reason why I can tell you,
he promised he wasn't going to leave ABGA, and he left.
No. Juma does not take you until the Wednesday that is going to be fine, you start seeing it from the Friday, right? You start seeing it from a Wednesday. And everything he has promised, he has fulfilled. And that is the reason why...
With the exception of leaving ABGA.
The ABGA issue came in with a reasonable, factual fact that you can say. But at the same fact, he didn't leave ABGA as in leaving ABGA based on the fact. He left with factual reason why that's...
So what if Dr. Tanko, if 2027 comes, for one reason or the other, Mr. Peter Obi wins, right?
Yes.
And we're in 2031.
Yes.
And he says, listen, for the obvious facts that, we have some unfinished business. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. I have to run again.
Remember,
what happens then?
Remember, he doesn't have a sole right to that particular being re-elected, even if he failed to complete his promise. It is still the people that have the right to vote. So why are we disturbed about it? It's the people who will decide. Because already the people will pick that against him, that he promise and fail. But the man has his integrity and is trying to prove it beyond reasonable doubt.
What if Nigerians say, listen, you've done so well, you've kept your promise, we've seen Nigeria transform over the last 4 years under your stewardship, we want you to continue.
That would be
Is he going to deny Nigerians?
That would be a plus for his credibility and integrity for saying, look, I made promise to the Nigerian people and I will fulfill them. And he also said, look, I will leave office even a night before. Maybe I will just come on the 29th for the ceremonial activity, but I will leave before, not more than. And he keep on stressing it. So even some of us who are his disciple will keep on asking the same question that he's asking. He said, Uncle, go and check. If I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. I'm a proud northerner. And so even if that we say that, okay, my part of the country will be shortchanged. And so I will not even support also the other part of this particular country to be shortchanged by anybody. So the North will have his own 8 years, and then the South should have his own 8 years, though unconstitutional, but for a gentleman agreement for the progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Peter Obi promised to serve 4 years, and please, you can take it to the bank. Put it in that vote, right. Central Bank.
I'll take your word for it. Let's talk about the political arena right now. He has been everywhere, taking part in humanitarian activities, right? And we've seen a heightened, presence of Mr. Peter Obi all over the place recently. How much of that is politics and how much of that is actually just an individual trying to help people out? Because some of these donations, a lot of people say, are Greek gifts because he's a politician and he's trying to make the most of the public persona that he's building.
If there are other candidates that have such compassion, consistency and care for the people, let them try the same thing that he's doing. And let's even assume that it's even politics. But he's giving to the people. It's different from those who go behind in the middle of the night, sharing people in order to corrupt them. But this is an open donation to the schools, School of Nursing and all. Let me give you an example of what happened in Bauchi. There was a little bit mix-up as regard to one primary school that we were supposed to visit. A check was presented, and that particular check was carrying another name. So he withdrew it and told them by Monday, that money will be transmitted into the account. Because of lack of patience of the visited school, you are already having somebody who wants to use it for political gain has already started tweeting. You know how popular Peter Obi is. And I know he promised he did not fulfill. He promised before you can say 12 o'clock, the money has already appeared in the people's account, and it becomes shameful for those who are already treading and trying to make traction with his name. He's a person that wants to show that he cares, and the most important thing is that he's reaching out to the people where nobody expected to happen. Right. Basically, it could have even been gathering some politicians and they say they are the owners or the gatekeepers, giving them this particular money and all. But it's impacting to the people and to the lower trodden. Talking about almajiris, talking about entrepreneurship, talking about schools, nursing schools that care for the people, talking about people who need this money in building nursing school everywhere. And that, of course, shows you that he is purposefully driven for the interest of the people. Right. He could decide to give his money anywhere he wants to. But this is the area in which. So I think, from your question, it is more humanitarian than politics. All right.
Finally, just before you go.
Yes.
It appears that the Obedience have a very clear message. It's presidency or nothing else. Is that the same thinking of Peter Obi?
No. He is being driven by the interest of his people. He has made his political
clear that he's
not desperate to become president. But as long as his people are championing this particular cause, he is in line with his people.
Right. So he's not open-minded about being a running mate again.
We have never discussed anything about running mate. Our interests have been the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I don't know what President Jonathan is coming back to do that he has not done before. And I think President Jonathan should thank God and thank Nigerians for how they were so tolerant and patient while he was president. We shouldn't, you see, the challenge we have most of the time, we keep using worst situations to compare the worst ones, so to say. It means we are looking at, oh, it appears the food items were quite cheap at the time. We were having some exchange. Come on, even the Buhari of the then, check it. Things were a little bit better if you want to compare the Buhari's first military regime time to the current times we are in. So it's a gradual thing. I remember the chief, what's his name? Fawehimi, Gani Fawehimi of blessed memory. He was almost crying that one egg, he says 30 naira, one egg. And I said, what's this guy? Bring that up here now. I said, 30 naira. And he was almost crying, protesting that things are too expensive. And I remember Jonathan even saying, look at what milk was when Buhari was, and compared to what it became. What I'm saying in essence is that it's a gradual, failure. When the economy is crumbling, it's a gradual thing. Jonathan he lacks the ability, I say it without mincing words, to lead Nigeria. He's a good man. He's a very decent man. Professor Yemi Osibanjo lacks the ability to lead Nigeria. He can give us policy and advisory role. A leader must be.
We're talking about Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes, I'm giving you the class of men because you're going to be asking. Even the man they are jumping around for, Peter Obi cannot lead Nigeria. He's not the kind of president that will fix Nigeria. He is part of the system that had been. So long you have been there, there's nothing more you want to do. You can't do things differently. You heard my brother speaking. I really wish he was bigger than this. Owobu. He has understanding of what should be. If he's too young, the way he doesn't even have the financial strength. I have listened to him over the years, and I've discussed with my friend. I have seen his thoughts. We need somebody like that. There was one young man, Chief Chukwuemeka Chikalu of the day, was a minister for some 2 years. We have Nigerians. They don't have the finances. They have the know-how. We need someone who will pull us from this English speaking to tech world. We're talking of robotic and AI. You are still talking about somebody who will tell you I will make rice 2 kobo. That's not what we're talking about. We need to flood the country with people who will be able to create things. We need more entrepreneurs. We need someone who will inspire the people. That's what we want now. Leave crude oil and all those. What happened in Singapore? We saw it happen. Go to China now. Becoming so beautiful, development everywhere. That's what we're talking about. The idea of Obi is a good man. We're not looking for a good or a bad man. In America today, for instance, they talked about institution. We have failed institution. One big man comes and say, okay, he's the president, he's the governor, he's this. Then he can start misbehaving. And that's basically what we see. And they say, well, he have immunity. You can't do anything to him. Obakpolo cannot go and fight him in court that he wants to rattle them. So some of these issues, looking at President Jonathan, why he was president, what did he do? What did he do that he will do differently now? He won't do anything. Let's be honest with ourselves. All these people jumping around, they want to be presidents. I don't see light in it. And again, another major problem is the Constitution, which Nigerians have not really looked at. The Constitution itself, it gives so much power to the man at the helms of affairs.
You called it a major problem.
Yes, a major one.
Probably that's what the country is suffering from.
It's part of it. A major problem, I agree. So we need to fix this. Before Nigerians look for a leader, we should fix the Constitution. Nigerians should be talking about, we're talking about some comfort back in the days. We should look back again and say, this Constitution is not going anywhere. You cannot, okay, maybe I just say something. I remember somebody say something and they'll just pick you up and arrest you because he said he's insulting the office. What is he already doing in prison because he made some statements? Go and challenge him in court. You don't need to keep somebody because you have power, because you're in position, because I can't talk to you. Why are you in public office, for goodness sake?
Okay.
Why are you there? You're not in your living room. I won't talk to you because you're in your living room. If you are holding a Nigerian office, I have the power and right to speak against what I don't like. It's not your personal property. I think this is the mentality we have around here. When you talk to a president, they say, why is he talking to him? He don't like him, he's an opposition. I don't belong to a political party in Nigeria.
Okay. Let's get your thoughts, Emmanuel Obakpolo, because we're looking at leaders who can raise institutions that will be stronger than men, not the other way around. Don't you see the GEJ as having this personality?
I do not see him. And one thing we must look at, it's unfortunate that we now have mindless persons in powers. Very mindless. And when you don't have a mind of your own, to the extent that you are not in charge, you are not in control of your own mind, but certain persons around you are the ones who control your mind, and you are now made a leader, then we are bound to have a sinking ship. And that is the situation Nigeria is today. It's unfortunate. We have people who like my pastor and learned friend said, we have people who we refer to as good men or bad men, as the case may be. But to rule or to lead does not necessarily mean that you must good or bad. To lead is a thing of the mind. While before you come to power, what is your program? Ask this man. 1999, we had former President Matthew Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo, the man who came from prison to the presidency. Even when he had no preparation, a program, so to speak, perhaps because we'll give him the excuse that he was just coming out from the prison. But we were able to see that the man had an assembly